Right.
Well, hey Graham, we're back in your swim.
Yes.
At
least I've caught a fish this time.
I know, yeah. Lovely £40 common. And you've decided to make a little change because...
yeah, seeing fish 2/3 across the lake showing, so I think they're up in the water.
Right, so
I'm going to put a zig out.
Well.
So obviously I always use the wide gape for my zigs.
Right.
I know a lot of people use curved shanks and stuff. I just prefer a wide gape.
Yeah. I've noticed you're using a size 6 wide gape, and
yeah.
Most people use a mixer hook or...
Yeah, the reason I'm using a size 6 is I'm going to be using the DragonFly instead of the zig cap.
Yeah.
Simply because we're big fishing for bigger fish, and I just like to have something in the face that's going to attract them more than anything. So, and
that's the whole idea of the zig, the DragonFly liner, in the fact that I remember Ollie Davis saying, you know, he likes using big zigs.
Yeah.
And obviously we like to refine our rigs to suit certain waters, but when you're fishing for bigger fish, then obviously a bigger zig will come into play, won't it?
That's it. Plus, years ago, before there were zigs, we called it off the lead, and we used to use a pop-up.
Yeah.
You know, so we used to catch fish then.
Yeah.
So why can't we catch fish with a bigger bait now?
Yeah.
You know, I think the trend has been for the zigs to be small, you know, especially with the zig aligners, you know, where you put in a piece of 6mm foam in.
Yeah.
We've all got used to fishing that way.
Yeah.
And I just think something a bit more in the face should hopefully produce the goods.
Yeah. So you obviously we're just gonna...
Yes, obviously if I were using the zig cap, I would use probably a size 8 or a size 10.
Yeah.
But we're fishing for big fish in deep water, so let's get something in the face. So use size 6 wide gape. Obviously always check your hooks before you tie them on. A lot of people use the nail test. Myself, if I just stick it in my finger, you know, when it holds in, no pressure, you know, what's the point of rubbing it on your nail? It doesn't represent a carp's mouth.
No, it doesn't.
You know, so what is the point?
No, there is no point. It's just a case of people have certain ways of thinking that's how you need to demonstrate something to prove a point, but it's not necessarily the case.
You know, your skin is the near. I mean, if you use your lips, it's probably more. Well, I'm not sticking hooks in my lips.
No.
You know, but you know, literally holds in with no pressure at all.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I like about the multi-point hooks. And the wide gape, it's got a slight beak on it, which I do like.
Yeah.
So obviously using 15-pound zig line.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the knot. I think it's a Palomar knot, I believe.
Yeah.
So I thread it through the eye, wrap it around my finger, and then back through the eye to form my loop. That's hook sharp, it catches me every time it goes near me. And then it's a straight, basically overhand knot. And then the hook through the loop or you've just formed, and gently just tease the knot down. As with all knots with mono, just moisten it and pull it down and trim off your excess. And then it's a case of just it into your aligner. And there you have it.
Perfect. Get on the DragonFly liner, guys.
Yep. Let's finish it off. Figure of 8 loop. And there we go. And 16-foot zig, all ready to go.
Sounds perfect to me. Are you going to put an anti-tangle sleeve on the end?
Yeah, I'll thread one on.
I know, a bit of a dragonfly that was. Must have thought you'd had one of its buddies in the hand.
That's it. Good thing about this line, it's you only need to get a little tug on it. Hang straight.
It's beautiful, mate. 2 years to develop that line.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, well there you go, guys. The DragonFly liner zig. And hopefully Graham's going to catch one on it.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. See you all in a minute. Bye. What Graham's doing now, he's just getting the spot where he feels the zig needs to go. So he's just cast it out a couple of times to get the spot right, clipping it up, and bring it back, and then obviously attach his DragonFly liner zig. Perfect.